welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliana and today I'm going to be sharing with you a wildly unpopular opinion. And that is that there are just not that many good Christmas movies. Now, I know, you're already angry, you're about to turn off the video, but let me tell you exactly what I mean. So my boyfriend assigned me the task of picking Christmas movies for us to watch this season, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't think of any I really desperately wanted to rewatch except Die Hard, because who doesn't want to watch Die Hard around the holidays? It's just that a lot of Christmas movies I don't really want to rewatch. Like, they just aren't worth it to me, and a lot of newer Christmas movies just aren't good. Like, I can make lists and lists and lists and lists of generally good movies for you guys to watch. I have done a video like that already, but when it comes to Christmas movies, I struggled to put together a long list of Christmas movies I could genuinely recommend to you. But that being said, I have compiled 25 of my favorites, and this was like a hard max. I definitely couldn't think of more than 25, and there are even some on this list that I don't know if they qualify as Christmas movies. One in particular is definitely not a Christmas movie in itself, but there's a Christmas in the movie, and I think of Christmas when I think of the movie, so I decided to include it. You guys can take a guess down below what movie I mean when it comes to that. And definitely down below, let me know what your favorite Christmas movies are, and if I missed any important ones, because I would love to add to my list. Like, as I said, I'm trying to compile a list of movies to watch this year, and I'm struggling, so I would love some help. But without further ado, let's just get right into the list. Here goes 25-ish, possibly more, Christmas movies I could genuinely recommend to you guys. So the first one's A Christmas Story. That one's a classic. There's not a lot you can say with that. Gotta watch The Christmas Story. And then there's Elf. I love the movie Elf. I've even seen Elf as a play and I really liked it. Elf is a good story. Elf is one you can rewatch every year. I have a tiny bit of bad blood surrounding Elf. My boyfriend and I have some, Elf related beef that we have to work out every holiday season, but that being said, I usually do end up watching Elf every year. Next is the cartoon version of The Grinch. I was absolutely petrified of this movie as a kid because I just hated The Grinch. Like, I hated everything he stood for. I hated how he went about doing it, but I definitely have come to love The Grinch, especially the music. I remember I actually had a playlist of the movie from the Grinch movie, which I would listen to all holiday season, but I refused to watch the movie because I was scared of him. Classic young Juliana. Next is Christmas Chronicles. I actually haven't watched this in a while. I think it's a second movie too. I don't know if I've ever actually seen. It's a good movie, but it's not one that I go and search for every single year. Then we have Christmas with the Cranks. Classic, a funny one. I'm kind of someone who likes to watch a few of like the classic Christmas movies, a few of the funny Christmas movies, and a few like rom-com Christmas movies every year. Then we have Home Alone. Home Alone, for me, screams sitting around waiting for Christmas dinner. It's on the TV, it plays at the same time every year on Christmas. I don't know what channel that is, but you guys probably do. My boyfriend's family just tends to have this on in the background every single year while we're waiting for dinner or while we're like waiting to open presents or something. So I feel like I watch this every single year and I could probably watch it every year for the rest of my life. And then of course there's also Home Alone 2, which is also a pretty good movie, honestly. Then we have the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen movie. I think that one's a really good one too. I watched that one a lot when I was a kid, definitely got a good laugh from that one. It's a classic, I would say, at this point, of the more recent classic movies. Then there's It's a Wonderful Life. I've actually seen some debate this year around this movie and whether it's like really more of a tragic, sad movie and less of an uplifting Christmas movie, and I can definitely see where people make that argument, but nonetheless, it's definitely one of those movies that you have to watch every few years. Then I have Holiday, and my boyfriend and I actually just watched that one this year. I really liked it. As far as newer rom-com movies go, I think it was funny, it was a good movie, it was heartwarming, honestly really enjoyable, and one of those movies that you can easily balance a girl enjoying and a guy enjoying. It's not one of those ones where it's gonna be like the girl desperately wants to watch it but the boy doesn't, and the boy really wants to watch this cop movie and the girl doesn't. It's one of those movies where you can probably meet in the middle and both enjoy it. Then we have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I only watched this one a few years ago and I didn't even watch that at Christmas, but I really liked it and I think it could easily become a Christmas classic for me. Now this one, I wasn't sure what put it on the list because I personally do not love it, but I can see how it's become a Christmas and a winter classic for a lot of people, and that one is Polar Express. There's just something about the animation in Polar Express that I don't love, but overall it's a good movie. It's just the animation that kind of throws me off, but I do like the movie and the plot. Everything else about it is pretty good. The next one is The Night Before. I threw this one in here to have a funny movie. Seth Rogen, of course, one of my favorite actors ever. Hilarious. Definitely a fantastic Christmas time movie if you want something that's a little more funny and uplifting. Then we have The Grinch with Jim Carrey. I actually prefer this one over the other versions that are done with live actors. I don't know what about it is. I honestly would always prefer to go back and watch the cartoon Grinch, but if you're gonna watch one of the live action ones, I would definitely watch the Jim Carrey version. I'm not putting up with any of that new Grinch music nonsense with the rapping in it. leave me out of that. Then we have Love Actually, definitely a good one if you want one of the more romantic Christmas movies. I've always enjoyed this movie, my boyfriend not quite so much, but I'm gonna tempt him to watch this one with me this year. Then I have Die Hard, and for the longest time I refused to watch it. I thought it was gonna be too scary. You guys know I hate horror movies, but this one's not horror. It's thriller or action at most, probably more so action. It's a really good Christmas movie, slightly scary, gets you curled up in somebody's arms, but it is just a really good movie in general and definitely has the Christmas vibes. Then we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Again, with this movie, I do not love this like claymation style of movie, but it just is heartwarming. It is cute. It's a classic Christmas story. It's the only one I have on this list that's super child friendly other than maybe the original Grinch movie, but I don't love it, but I had to put it on the list, you know? I don't like the part where they have all the toys on the island that are all like super sad. It's just kind of like not a very uplifting part of the movie, but overall the movie has good vibes. Then we have Unaccompanied Minors. I actually make a rule for myself where I watch one Christmas movie every year that I've never seen before, and last year I watched Unaccompanied Minors for the very first time. I can't believe I hadn't watched it yet, so if you guys haven't seen it yourselves, this is the year to do so. Then I have Miracle on 34th Street. If you want a classic black and white Christmas movie, this is the one to go with. This one again is one of those movies that's like not super Christmassy, but definitely still has Christmas vibes, and I'm gonna throw Lethal Weapon, the Christmas one. I don't know which Lethal Weapon that is, but I don't know, it's not like overwhelmingly Christmassy, but if you're trying to find that middle ground to watch like with a boyfriend or something, I feel like Lethal Weapon is an easier one. Then I have Bad Santa, that's one to throw on the list if you're looking for a super funny movie. Then I have The Year Without Santa Claus. I watched this movie over and over and over when I was younger. I loved this one when I was a kid. It's another one that's like pretty kid friendly. I keep having to update myself along the way on telling you guys which ones are kid friendly, but I would say that this one, The Grinch, and the Rudolph movie are all very kid friendly movies. There is one song in that movie that I come back to listening to every single year, and it's like the Mr. Heat Miser, Mr. Snow Miser song. I am just obsessed with that. I'd be like jamming in the car. My mom would be one character, I'd be the other character. I loved that song as a kid, and honestly, I still love it now. Then I have Office Christmas Party. I watched this one last year for the first time. I think it might have even come out last year, honestly. It's really funny. It has Jennifer Aniston in it. We all love her. It's a hilarious Christmas movie. I would definitely recommend it. Then there's Four Christmases. This one's on Netflix for sure. It's another one that's kind of like more of a comedy drama. Again, I think it's a good middle ground if you're looking for something to watch with a boyfriend or with a partner of some kind, or even like as a family movie. I think this one was really good. And then the last movie on my list, and this is where you can tell I was kind of struggling to find Christmas movies, is Grumpy Old Men. I left this movie off my list when I made my like 100 favorite movies list, and I've regretted it ever since. But when I think of Christmas movies, I genuinely do think of Grumpy Old Men. Like, it just has Christmas vibes. There's a Christmas scene in it. The whole thing is like kind of like a heartwarming movie all in all, and it's set in winter, so I think you can easily see where I think Christmas movie around this one. But I do want to watch this one again soon. My family has watched this movie together so many times, so who knows, we might even watch it together this year. But I do definitely love Grumpy Old Men. But anyway, you guys, that's my full list of 25-ish ideas for movies to watch this Christmas. I had ideas for families, ideas for couples, and ideas for even kids or just watching on your own. There are so many great options for Christmas, but that being said, I just don't like that many Christmas movies, and I would love to discover more that I can enjoy and watch year after year. So if you have any Christmas movies to recommend to me, definitely leave them down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I am so appreciative for every single one of you who subscribed. That is the best Christmas gift I could possibly receive. Have an amazing week, a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys soon.